Okay, you good?
All right. Good to go.
So I just got done rebuilding my PC, bro.
Oh, man. How was it?
It was okay. It's kind of like building a Lego set in a way.
I mean, sort of. Except for there's more wires. And if you build a single piece wrong or touch the wrong thing, then it won't even work at all.
Or if you put something together backwards, everything can just melt.
Ooh, don't forget that you're on your own to figure out if the pieces are even compatible or if the machine is going to turn on once you put them together.
Kind of starting to think Legos are more fun.
At least a PC is cheaper.
You just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And don't forget to plug that piece back in. Plug in that fan. Plug in both the fans. Why isn't anything making noise?
You know, I like how Lego, maybe computers should do this too. Like Legos always give you like an extra couple pieces just in case you lose one. Guys get like an extra motherboard or something in case I like bang it up or something like that.
I wish I'd had an extra CPU. After you hear what I fucking did to it, you're going to be blown away.
Oh, no.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news.
All right.
Live.
I got loop on. Dang it. I hate it.
Our news this week is brought to us by the fine folks at Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies, if you want to go to cravecookies.com so you can follow along with me, is this awesome cookie shop that you can access just in a lot of different states now. There's like, I'd say like 15 states, 20 states maybe.
I don't even know. Like, he doesn't even tell us anymore. He's just like, oh,
He
yeah,
used to
we
tell
opened
us
up a bunch of New
everyone.
Jersey ones, and we're like,
And then it was enough that he can't tell us all of them. That's how many it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Anyway, go to cravecookies.com, see if there's one near you. And you will also see on that website their rotating Cookie of the Week menu. And that's what they've got coming up this week. But because we are awesome on this podcast and we love you to death, we are going to spoil the next week's cookie menu. I got access to the super secret company document here. It's all the franchise owners and then Peterson and I in here just sticking around. I don't know why.
JD just goes in and changes some stuff up every now and then just to mess up the whole franchise.
I put the Rockefeller on as much as I can because that's my cookie. I invented that.
Stop it, JD. Stop putting it on there. We know it was you.
We know. Obviously, you're the only one that replaces everything with a Rockefeller. And as Trent told me, you know how hard it is to get 100 grand bars in bulk? I guess it's hard.
Doesn't matter, Trent. It's on the menu, all locations.
I don't know. It's there every week. Here's what's coming up the menu for the week of beginning February 9th. You got the chocolate chip, peanut butter cup, Death by Red Velvet, the chocolate lava, the raspberry Pop-Tart, and the pink sugar.
Oh, he needed those last two because the first ones were very chocolate heavy.
Yes.
So he needed to mix it up a little bit.
But pink sugar is awesome.
I haven't had that one in a while. I need to get it.
I know.
It's good.
That is honestly one of my favorites. It reminds me of my childhood. Anyway, so either get down now and you can get the menu that's on cravecookies.com or wait till February 9th and you can get the menu that we just spoiled for you. Either way, stuff some cookies in your face hole. It's Crave.
I'm not making another commercial with stuff some cookies in your face hole.
Stuff them in your face hole.
Stuff them in your face hole. Oh, you're gonna hate it.
Fist worth of cookies, you shove them in your face.
Surprising absolutely no one, searches for Sonic X Shadow have been turning up porn-related results.
This is so great. Because, okay, apparently here's what's happening. People were already shipping Sonic and Shadow.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a long time.
Which makes so much sense. They look like they're in the same, like,
they look like
arena.
They can get it. They look like
they can get it. It's not like everyone that's like weird about fucking a bat. like the female bat character fucking a hedgehog. Like no one wants to see that.
Yeah, they're like the logistics.
It's an
I don't even know how that
abomination.
work, but
But
Sonic
hedgehog
and-
on hedgehog, like come on,
I mean, that's just natural. It's just
they're
nature
built
at
for
this
that.
point.
Exactly.
And so of course you throw an X into that mix through the search, and it takes seconds to get in not safe for work images and comics of them getting in lovers quarrels and things like that. It's incredible.
That's what I think, dude. This is like, yeah, there's some porn results, but when I went through, most of this stuff was like pretty wholesome. Like the people that ship Sonic and Shadow are kind of like,
They don't want him to have a bad time. They've
Yeah,
got a
they're
great
pre-
relationship.
yeah, mostly these guys are just like hanging out, broing out, kissing occasionally. I found one with Shadow was
As
pregnant.
bros do.
You know, stuff happens. Your bro gets you pregnant and you argue a little bit about it.
This happened to all of us, honestly, at some
We've
point in our
all
lives.
been there.
I'm 41 years. Yes, it's happened. My bro has got me pregnant. It was,
Do you even have a bro? If you haven't gotten knocked up by your best dude.
dude, it happens sometimes, you know.
So it's Sonic X Shadow Legends, right? Or Origins, or
there's a whole
because there's like another word on there. But yeah, obviously the shorthand will be Sonic X
Generations.
Shadow. The real problem here is not that this is showing up porn, because they fixed it. Obviously, the conspiracy theory is that Sega was tired of these shippers in particular, and so they made this game, titled it in this particular way. It's just the same as the Disney Frozen conspiracy. You're familiar with that one, Peterson, right?
I'm not. I don't think
Right.
so.
So Disney went out of their way in the late 2000s to make a movie entitled Frozen, and they made it, this big masthead of their new franchises, because they wanted to overwrite the Google search results for Disney Frozen, because everyone thought that Walt Disney had frozen himself cryogenically and that he was in the Disney vault. That's like the whole shtick.
Yeah.
So they wanted to hide the truth, and they made Disney Frozen so the Google results don't show. This is the same idea. This is what they did to the shippers, is they came after the shippers first. And I guess the other problem is, how do you search for this porn now?
You
I
have to
feel
actually,
bad.
you have to actually type in porn. You know, real
Porn.
quick, is that why they named a movie? Disney named a movie Tangled, because Disney and Tangled there was a whole story about Walt Disney getting his penis tangled up in
Oh yeah,
like a Rat King situation.
that's why they've had to freeze him,
Yeah, okay, got
because
it.
it was a little
know
bit
what?
about saving Walt Disney.
I like
It was
this.
mostly about saving his Rat King dick. Because once you get it stuck in there, dude,
We are not naming the episode Rat King Dick, okay? We're not. So stop it. Don't write it on the doc.
we have to.
No, that's the worst name we could. Oh my gosh, what are we doing? Where are we? Oh, Sonic X Shadow. Getting it.
Tencent CEO is feeling really mopey about his company's outlook. Crosses folds his arms and goes, huh.
Just
This
frown
is-
on his face.
This is a dude. His name is Pony Ma, and he is the chief executive and co-founder of Tencent Holdings. And he was speaking at Tencent's annual meeting, which is apparently in a stadium. That I just like. I think of like a Chinese communist approved corporation giving a public shareholder meeting in a stadium. I get very dystopian vibes from that.
Was
Is
that
that
like
just
a
fucking me?
parade of soldiers before
Yes.
this?
Yes, I get like a weird fucking vibe from trying
Yeah.
to visualize.
I'm with you. Like
That.
I'm getting Hunger Games vibes.
Like they didn't have the concessions open is what I'm saying. And everyone was sitting in the stadium seating bolt upright in fucking suits.
so quiet.
Weird. Anyway, so Pony Ma is talking to this group of, I don't know, creepy, like George Orwellian crowd. And he says, quote, "Gaming is our flagship business, but in the past year, we have faced significant challenges. We have found ourselves at a loss as our competitors continue to produce new products, leaving us feeling having achieved nothing. Uh-uh. Well, first of all, you weren't allowed to release any games over the last year, so maybe that was like an underhanded shot because they had achieved nothing. If you remember, that was like one of the big things is it was like the games they already had out were cool and they had to double and triple down on those. But yeah, they couldn't do anything. So I'm wondering if this is a Pony Ma is going to end up like in a camp because he said that he did wrong think at the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever the fuck you
man.
call that. Anyway, so here their flagship games are still the same ones that we talked about years ago. Honor of Kings and PUBG Mobile. That is Tencent. That's who they are. Like that's their whole company at this point, and they don't have anything new like cooking. I'm sure because why would they cook? That would be a stupid investment if you don't think your country, the ruling party of your country, is going to allow you to release any of those titles. Why would you waste time and money working on them? So they feel like they haven't done anything of note this year. They can't start. Maybe they can start working on stuff now. But the problem is I'm pretty sure they're looking to AI. That's kind of their solution. They're like, AI will save us. We'll just do AI stuff. It's
Dear
fine.
AI, what is a good game I can make? That's going to be search number one.
Us a game, AI? What do you mean you can't do that?
You're like, yeah, make a game like Eggy Party. What the freak is Eggy Party? Did you see that in here? Like, oh, NetEase has outshone Tencent with hit titles like Genshin Impact, heard of it, and Eggy Party.
Why didn't our AI think of that? Hey, get us a better AI.
Can we get Eggy Party? By the way, it looks like Eggy Party isn't actually out yet. At least I can install it, but it says coming soon. So,
dude, this sucks ass for Chinese gamers. Honestly, this is who I feel for the most.
Oh, the
we
Chinese
report on this a
people get
lot.
screwed. Like we talk about China, we are not talking about the people. The Chinese people get
these poor
dumped on
dudes.
regularly.
Because so years and years of this shit where they're trying to crack down on how much kids are playing, and that's great. That is definitely having lasting impacts throughout that are resonating and rippling throughout the whole industry that are not like positive consumer things. Like you're having to take you open up Honor of Kings on your cell phone in China, and it's like the one brief moment of respite from your shitty day, and you like have to take a screenshot of your government issued ID to actually play the fucking game and like verify it with a picture of your own
up
face.
In the corner. Ding, ding.
Yeah, all these things are definitely impacting the average gamer. But now, on top of all that, you get no new games for years, and the faucet from the West has been completely shut off because for 5 to 10 years, like all of the gaming companies in the West were like, yeah, we've got to get games into China. We'll make games for the Chinese audience. That's like our thing. And then the Communist Party's like, no, fucking done with that. No more foreign titles. So now you don't get foreign titles. You don't get titles in your own country. And like Peterson said, your experience gaming is like nightmarishly dystopian because there's a timer and there's like a screenshot of your face. And if your face dips out of the camera view and they think it may be like a child, they shut your phone explodes in your hand. Shrapnel fucking everywhere.
Yeah, all phone cases come with like a mild, like a quarter stick of dynamite on the back.
Like a little bit of rat poison and some fucking nails taped to it.
You get to that last 10 seconds and you start hearing a lighter on the back of your phone just you're like, it's gonna like the wick. No.
Oh shit.
Turn it off.
So yeah, I don't think things are looking up for the Chinese gaming market. Sorry to all these Chinese gamers. I hope Honor of Kings continues to crush it for you. Also, don't forget these dudes own Riot Games, League of Legends, and a number of other studios in the West. So
look,
fingers crossed.
Everything's cyclical. Like China within the next 2 or 3 years will roll things back. They'll roll out a few games, make $40 trillion, and then the Chinese government will be like, hey, knock it off.
No, we didn't. Hey,
that's too much money.
Nuh-uh.
Who's even spending all that money?
Stop making money.
Not India, because they don't play our games anymore because we have beef with them.
All right, everybody back in the stadium. Let's go.
Single file back in the stadium. You have 8 minutes. Get in.
You got to
there.
learn. Let everyone get in the stadium.
Back in the stadium. I hate that.
Cyber oil cats, tar splinters, face hands, sassy puppet companions, electric guitar villains, and Papa Ritas. Death Stranding is back in an insane new trailer. Did you write this, Peter?
This was my favorite headline to write.
This was great.
I watched the video and I just kept adding things to it. There's an 8-minute long trailer for Death Stranding 2.
Feels like
and
80.
Oh my gosh, it does. I was like, is this almost over? And I was like, oh,
No,
I'm
it's
a
4
quarter of
minutes
the way
in.
in. This is what's happening. And it gets crazier
It
as
doesn't
you
even
go.
feel like a trailer either. It just feels like there's like parts of it that feel trailery, but then it's like they just let the thing run long and forgot to edit a scene, and then they just left the whole scene in.
They were like, hey, let's just add that scene where the doctors are pulling the splinter out and it sprays tar. Like, why? There was no purpose for that scene in the trailer. And then like, oh no, let's add that. They just threw everything in. They were
This
so
was like a fever
excited.
dream. This whole thing was like a fucking fever dream. You guys, if you want to do yourselves a favor, stop the podcast. Pause this right now and go look at the Death Stranding 2 trailer. Watch it. It's 8 minutes. It's better than this podcast for sure. And then
Best
come
8
back
minutes in a
here
week.
for our brilliant analysis, because this thing is something that has to be witnessed firsthand. No account of it could ever do it justice. This is the single-handed weirdest video game trailer I have ever
Hands
seen
down.
in my fucking life.
Hands down.
It has completely, without any question at all, completely changed how I view Death Stranding and Hideo Kojima and what he's doing. And I honestly feel like I have to take back every negative thing I said about Death Stranding based on this trailer alone, because what this has proven is that Hideo Kojima is the only artist in all of video games, because everyone else pales in comparison to whatever the fuck this guy is doing. What is going on? How does his mind work? This dude is a fucking alien walking among us.
I'm so glad you watched it, because I watched it right before JD hopped on, and I was like, JD, you have to watch this trailer.
It was like a
It's-
fever dream, like an
It's
insane
crazy.
fever dream. There no amount of drugs that I could take could get me to a point where I could conceive of something even close to how weird this is. Like, I could describe individual things and you'd be like, huh? What? Doesn't matter. You got to go see it, because there's just continuous layers of weird. And on top of everything, it is played completely straight. The whole thing is played straight. Things that were making me laugh, like, I'm like, that's stupid. What the fuck? That's so dumb. By the end of the trailer, I'm like, no, that makes, of course, that's her gloves are made out of hands. That her face mask is made out of hands.
That
And of
hands
course,
that move.
the puppet exists on some different realm, and so of course he looks completely different in art style than the whole rest of the whole game.
Okay, so just so the listeners know, remember in God of War 4 how you had that head that you would just carry around with you?
It's like hanging from your belt.
Yeah, and he would just talk because he was like immortal, but his head was cut off. So you just had his head and he was just talking. You have that in Death Stranding, but it's a puppet.
And it's a puppet that it looks like it's from a different game.
Yeah,
With a
you're
completely
right.
different art style. And it's just like ripped from it and just deposited in this game. And like I said, played completely straight.
Is the puppet from New York too? Like he's got, hey, don't put me back there on your butt.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, what is this game? And then there was a whole sequence in the trailer where everything was in color except for the two characters were black and white. And I was like, is this in the past? Like, I don't understand. Like, they just do that. They just put it in there. And you're like, why is Norman Reedus black and white right now? Like, the whole thing is crazy.
It's just like anyone that could come up with this can't be doing anything wrong. That's where I'm at. Like, if every video game was aiming for this level of whatever this is, we would be better off in this industry, just in general.
And then this is a super serious trailer, right, JD? But the part that got me, I want to hear if this got you too. The part that made me laugh out loud for a long time was the guitar fight. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, does that villain have an electric guitar? And then he just starts fighting a ninja with it.
That's the thing, is it's not really an electric guitar as much as it is literally the gaming peripheral from like Guitar Hero, because it's not like there's strings. It's like he has that little like clicking up and down clicker thing, and that because he clicks it up and down rapidly
Yeah.
to shoot it. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Dude,
Hideo Kojima is dragging the general like consensus center of gravity of the entire gaming industry toward himself. He's like, everyone's doing one thing and I'm doing me. And I'm like, why isn't everyone doing me? Everyone should be doing this. Whatever the fuck this is, we need more of it.
Dude.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know
guess
if
I'm playing Death Stranding 2. It does not look like a game I will enjoy. It doesn't look like a game like that I would, but I have to play it. I have to. What is this?
And it doesn't even look like Death Stranding 1 for
No!
most of it. Like, I was so confused.
It looks like kind of a painful slog of a game, and you're watching a shit ton of cutscenes,
Yeah.
and they look gross. They look like there's a lot of weird, gross, trippy shit going on.
Oh man.
But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
know.
partake in Death Stranding 2. Why? And I might have to go back and play the first one because I guess I was an asshole. I should never have critiqued this dude. I'm not on that level. I don't get
wait
it.
for the movie. I can't wait for the movie. It's going to be wild.
Oh yeah, they're making a movie out of this.
Dude, I'm telling you. This is changing the world, I think. I don't know how, but it is.
Where video games we will forever demark video games as being before and after Death Stranding 2. That's it. The new live service Suicide Squad game is out, and the reaction is mixed.
All right. I don't even know where to go with this game.
Dude, the thing is, we talked about it earlier before the podcast as part of we were looking for a Dice of Destiny game for me because I rolled shooter, and we both genuinely wanted me to play this game. It is so hard there's not a Game Pass. It's just a cold $70 to play a live service game.
Straight up. There's not like a subscription thing you can download,
But they're definitely going to try to charge you money throughout the whole thing on top of the $70, which is absolutely ludicrous. So that alone is a nit for me that I can't even I can't even get there. But the response in general, I'd say, tell me if I've summed this up correctly, is that the story's good, the story's solid, the gameplay is actually really awesome. Like, it's fun.
That's what I read. And people were like, this was a lot of fun. The guns felt crazy cool. The characters looked good.
But the idea and the reason that it was that it's a live service game made them stretch the content out and the story out beyond where it wasn't fun anymore because it's just repetitive. And ultimately, you kind of start to see the cracks and you realize that it's the same 6 missions over and over again, just with a different skin. And when I read in one of the reviews that the final boss you fought, that boss battle was just a reskin of a boss when you fought the Flash earlier in the game, I was like, see, that's the thing, is if they were not trying to bake this as a live service, always online game, which is another thing. If you play single player by yourself, you still have to be connected. You have to be online all the time. You can't play this offline, which is insane. For $70.
They can't sell you guns offline.
But so ultimately the format ruined what was otherwise a really great game, because Rocksteady makes great games, but having to squish it into this like cancerous corporate format has ultimately kind of soured the game. Is that what you got from it?
Yeah. It seems
bummer.
Repetitive. And they said like some of the missions that were like direct copy pastes just had like a little an extra little thing added to it, like, oh, you can't do this during this mission or whatever. Like, it seemed really half-baked in terms of what I read in terms of the missions. So, and also, if you remember at launch, they had just crazy bugs. I don't know if you read about that. The major bug at launch, early access. So if you pre-ordered it, you got it a week earlier. So you could play it a week earlier. So these people were stoked to play. And most people were logging in, and the game was saying that they've already 100% of the game, that it was completed.
And you're done. You finish it. You get the one playthrough and you're out. Get out of here.
And so they're like, what? I didn't do any. I haven't even played yet. So that's kind of funny. So they started issuing people money, in-game currency, as like an apology for the, hey, you spent $100 to buy this game and play it a week earlier, and then it was a huge disaster, pretty much unplayable. So here's $20 of in-game currency, which is, I guess, fine, but
Which I would hope that would buy you everything in the whole
No.
game.
no.
But it probably only buys you
One
like a gun or
skin.
two.
One
Which is
skin,
fucking crazy.
JP.
These people drop $100 and then the consolation they're given is still probably not enough to buy like everything that's available in the game.
It's all too expensive now. Like the skins are so crazy expensive. Like I was playing a game, and I was like, oh, they have like skins you can buy, and I went and looked, and it was like a pack was $5, and I was like, I should do that. That's a great deal because everything's $20 now. You want to buy a skin, $20. You want to buy the latest thing, $20 every time, which is crazy for a $70 game. So yeah, Suicide. I still don't know what to make of Suicide Squad. Like I do want to play it, but also I don't want to play it.
So this is something that I'm like, I want to say they can pull this out and they can course correct and they can figure it out and make this into a pretty decent game. But I feel like my experience on these games is, I will admittedly limited, but it made me think of The Division. And we initially played The Division when it first came out, and it was good. It didn't have
a lot of fun.
That one launch issue where you couldn't like use the laptop and everyone was like lining up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So silly. So they, this is not without its issues, but once you got into The Division, it was fun. The gameplay was enjoyable, just like this. But as you got longer into the game, you started to see the cracks, and you realized the one end game raid was the exact same every time, and it was literally just standing in a sewer and just shooting at people that tried to come down it, like exclusively. And so I was like, okay, that's kind of sucks. We kind of dipped off. And then they're like, okay, well, we're going to add new things. We're going to add new stuff. And we would dip back in. But man, it was really never the same.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's how it kind of eventually fell off. And then they did The Division 2 and there was a big jump. But then it was the same deal. And there was just like people just dipped. And I worry that with this one, people have been through it. That was years ago. The Division was years ago. That was like 6, 7, 8. People are tired. The Destiny 2 Division crowd is fucking tired of this shit.
Like, yeah,
and you come out with this.
And like, if you want to make a great live service game, honestly, first of all, I never expect them to be great at launch ever. And then it's always the same thing, right? They get boring after Endgame is boring, right? You have to put so much work into it to make it great, truly great. And most companies aren't willing to do that. And so that's what I think is going to happen here. They're going to release it. It'll make a bunch of money, but like,
yeah.
And people will be like, man, it's fun to play, but I just wish it was a little bit more. We wish it was better. And then it'll never really get better. They might release one thing that might be good, but like it'll die fast.
You ought to poll every video game developer. And I would wonder if you asked any video game developer, not the executives, not the marketing team, not the money men, and you asked, do you want to make a live service game? Dude, I'd bet dollars to donuts no one says yes. You get 0 yeses. Because people want to make a video game. They want to make a product. They don't want to make something that is designed by default to be like, to have like missing stuff that you add later. Like, let's make this half-assed, piece it together, and then the money that people pay us throughout the development will allow us to finish the game, to make it more of a complete experience. I don't know that most game developers would want to be on board with that.
I think if you asked me a year and a half ago, I'd say, yeah, maybe it's good for the game devs because they get some job security. But come on, we know that that's not a thing anymore. Like, because like if you have a game, fake. It ships and it's done, then they're like, okay, we don't need this big of a crew anymore. The game's shipped, right? But if you got a live service game, it's like, hey, we need you on, we need you programming, we need new stuff in the game and that sort of thing. But now there's no job security in the gaming industry, so I don't even know. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to work on it. Doesn't seem fun to work on unless it's like unless it's like a real passion project and it's doing really great, like that could be fun to work on. But most of these seem like they seem heartless, right? And so yeah, I don't know. I think you might be right. I don't think people are into it in terms of the workers.
Blizzard's new president is the person who ran Overwatch and Call of Duty into the ground.
Good news?
Good hire. This is very cool. I love when people fail upwards. In this case, it is Johanna Faries?
I'm trying to look.
How would you say that? She was previously the general manager for the Call of Duty franchise with Activision, and she's stepping into Mike Ibarra's role, who was the former president of Blizzard, who was canned during these most recent
We just
layoffs.
call him Mike Ibarra.
Mikey Barra.
That's how I read it. Mike Ibarra.
So Johanna, I don't know how to pronounce either of these. Joanna?
It's probably just Johanna.
Johanna or Joanna?
Johanna Faries. That's what I would say.
She was with the NFL for like 12 years, worked her way up to like vice president. And honest to God, dude, they brought her on to Activision just to bring legitimacy to the Call of Duty esports. That was it. It was like, look, we have a VP from the NFL. Call of Duty esports is legit. This was it in 2018. This is when esports were really like starting to say, hey, look, we're real sports and we're established. And look, this is the type of shit they would do, is hire an NFL VP. So obviously not a ton of like experience making video games or like even any of that stuff. I mean, she cut her teeth working in like marketing and promotions at the NFL. So they bring her onto the Call of Duty esports team, and she works her way up there and to the general manager. And then they also put her over Overwatch esports. And if you listen to this podcast at all, you know how Overwatch esports is going, that they recently just imploded and sold everything to the Saudis. And on the other side, Call of Duty is having its like worst year ever because of the most recent Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 release, which was just like supposed to be a shitty add-on to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 or something, or Warzone, and they tried to force it into a full release title so they could charge $70 for it, and now its sales and player base are tanking. And so she does that, and now they're like, you know what? You should run Blizzard into the ground next. That's a huge liability on our financials. Could you destroy them from within for us? Could you do that for us?
She's like, I can and I will.
How much do you pay? How much? Yes, absolutely. She released this letter to her staff that was like, it said like nothing of note. And if I'm being honest, it doesn't matter what she says in that letter, because what her actions will speak a lot louder than her words. And this next year, I think in particular, is going to be very telling what her actions are. The fact that they've already canceled titles there before she arrived, I don't know what signal that sends the rest of us or the studio. Like, you know, you're like killing the sick and wounded before you bring the executioner in to tour the jail.
yeah.
Because she's going to pick her favorites to execute. I don't know. But I don't think this bodes well. I think she's a hatchet person, dude. I think she's going to come in here and there's going to be another 500 people laid off before the end of this year, directly as a result of things that she's just like, just flippantly doing because of her, storied career in the NFL. A really notoriously well-run organization, I might add.
Yeah,
everyone talks about how very well-run the NFL is and their pedigree of incredible employees.
Yeah. God. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Part of it too is like, gosh, have they set her up completely for failure too?
Yep.
And if that's the case, that's not a good look, because she is a female person of color, right? And they
just thrown her under the bus.
yeah, that would not look great. But also, hey, maybe they were like, Bobby Kotick was the worst. He's gone. Mikey Barra, maybe we just need to hire the opposite. So they hire a young.
So they hired a human being instead of a goblin or a ghoul.
Yeah, that's right. They hired a young, attractive lady, and they're like, hey, maybe she could do a great job because we had a ghoul and a goblin, and
they
that
were
didn't
the
go well.
worst.
So I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking through this. Okay, JD, I'm looking through it, and I'm trying to understand why they would hire her for this position from into a company that's not doing great, that has seemingly nothing on the docket, right? They've got to have something, but like why did they bring her in? That's
it's
what
called
I'm
the
trying to figure out.
glass cliff. That's what they call it. Unlike the glass ceiling that women struggle with in the workplace, trying to reach certain levels that are traditionally blocked off to women, the glass ceiling is when they bring on female executives for the company to fail, and they can blame it on them.
Like,
and be like, look, dude, this is what happens when you hire chicks.
We tried it. It was terrible.
Look
and
how
then
bad
this other
Blizzard did after we hired
goblin-looking mother
Joanna.
effer come in, and he's like, I'm going to take this company to the next level. And you're like,
now we can hire another goblin. We tried a chick, man.
Hey, we did our part. We did our part.
So I guess good luck to her. Like you said, I think she's been set up to fail. I think she's put in a role where she is in way over her head. I think bringing in a money person to Money Man or whatever to run Activision, the Call of Duty shop. I mean, I don't even know if that made sense when they did it. Bobby Kotick has always been that much of a goblin, but Blizzard has had this reputation that they're like by gamers for gamers. It's like, that's what we do. And that even when they were taken over by Activision, the common thing, I saw this even in a Jason Schreier article about this woman's hire, was that the Blizzard has always butted heads with Activision. Like they're the artsy guys that want to do the good things and make good video games, and Activision are, they're there shaking their money sack and saying, we'll pay up. Like, we need you to do this, that, or the other. But Blizzard's standing up for themselves. And it's like, okay, well, we just brought in the head of Call of Duty. Now that autonomy is even the veil of autonomy is gone. Like, there's no like pretending at all that Blizzard isn't just an Activision subsidiary. And I think this makes me wonder who working there is still going to make, like, Blizzard's soul is like, whatever, like shadows of that soul remained at the studio are gone now. I think they will be chased out.
That's true, because typically Blizzard did a lot of internal promotion. If you'd see it, like, this guy started at Blizzard back in the day, and he was starting work, and now they bring in someone from Call of Duty of all things,
and the NFL.
And the NFL.
She spent more time in the NFL than on video games.
She's got no Blizzard pedigree. She's got no Blizzard culture, which is the one thing they had going for them, like you mentioned. So yeah,
and it's already been like bleeding. And then they had the layoffs, and so it's been bleeding even further.
And then people left. A few long timers left. OGs left.
There's nothing left, dude. Blizzard is like the things that they give their long tenured employees, like that mug and the Stein and those other things. I would be surprised how many, how many swords and Steins are still in that studio now.
Yeah,
one, maybe two. It's just dead. And those are the guys that are making the games. And just like the last segment where we talked about the dudes that are making the Suicide Squad game would rather not be making that game of all things. You're going to have people making games that are not making games because they want to make games. They're making games because, like, that's all they can do. That's all they're allowed to do. And that's
working at Blizzard used to be the dream. It used to be the dream. Danny wanted to work there. Crow wanted to work there. They were all like this is what they wanted, and
And
now
that alone is
no way they can do
valuable because you have now as a studio, you have a laundry list of people that is so long that amazing, incredible artists like Danny and Crow are down the list a little bit. Like, and you could draw on them later if you need to hire, but now they're off.
Yeah.
They're out. I'm sure neither of them would want to go work
no
in
way.
Blizzard
There's no way they
right now. And so like that's a huge loss. Even the potential hires, the pool shrinking, and as you're laying people off and people are fleeing your company, and you look to the employment pool and you're like, wow, it's a lot shallower than it used to be. Ooh, the beginning of the end for them. So tough scene over at Blizzard. A Twitch streamer is playing Pal World with her brain.
So you're saying I'm not playing with my brain?
It doesn't feel like I'm playing with my brain at all because it turns the fuck off for like 4 hours straight. I don't think it's just like goop in my skull. This is a woman who streams on Twitch using an electroencephalogram.
Yeah,
you did it.
You nailed it. That was it exactly.
You just have to slow things down a little bit to play games.
Electroencephalogram. EEG.
Nice.
EEG.
Peterson nailed it.
Yeah. I'm a doctor.
He's basically a doctor. So this was something that I struggled to understand initially, but after I read it, this makes perfect sense, and I think it's fucking brilliant. Basically, long story short, she just thinks of something. Anything. You just think of something that is evocative of a certain, that you'll have a response to it. So she thinks of a fire, for example, and then she records her brain thinking of a campfire. And then she thinks of a campfire and records her brain. She does this a handful of times and recognizes the pattern. There is this specific pattern in my brain when I think of a campfire. Well, now she says, hey, computer program, when you see that pattern, I want you to press A.
Yeah. Do this.
It's just that simple. So she needs to press A. And for, in Pal World, she's like, oh, I wanted to have it be like when I construct something, I'll think of like a campfire. And so she thinks of a campfire and she's just sitting there with her hands up. So you see she's not using her hands at all.
She's just got her. It's not like she can't play video. It's like, understand, like she has functional limbs.
Yeah.
She's just sitting there with her hands up and doing this. It's kind of like her. It's her thing, but this is awesome.
Yeah, this isn't really like cool. Elon Musk, like Neuralink, like crazy, stupid made up bullshit. This is like just like something you could theoretically, you could visualize this, right? Like this isn't that out there to think of recording a certain brainwave and recognizing that pattern and then mapping it to a controller scheme. Like she beat apparently the hardest boss in Elden Ring using this tactic.
That's crazy.
This is such cool tech, dude. I think this is dope. I feel like we haven't said her name. This it's Perry Carry. What the fuck?
Perry Cariel. PerryKaryal. Perry Cariel.
Perry Cariel is on Twitch, I believe. Is that
It's actually really cool.
It's really
it's got to be like a crazy brain exercise too. Like,
man. I think she's like that's like a PhD in this shit.
Yeah, like this is crazy. Yeah, this is actually really cool. I keep watching the same clip over and over, and I'm like, this is wild. Jeez. Mine would just be like, hello, I think you're asleep. And I'm like, I did. I dozed off for a minute there. That would be mine.
Yeah. So check this out. Check out Perry Carial. PerryKaryal, all one word. Perry Carial. And watch her stream with her brain. So cool.
I'm sorry to inform you. Welcome to another company reset. I hope you've updated your resume. 'Cause you've just been laid off.
That's the sickest fucking bumper ever. This is our layoff section. We
No.
thought we'd put some positive swing on the fact that
Yeah, we
there's
gotta make
layoffs
it fun.
every single week. Every single week of this year, there's layoffs.
Mhm.
Only 2 this week, and they're kind of small. So this is good. I guess good in air quotes. Eidos Montreal. I didn't know they had anyone left to lay off.
Yeah, dude, they're like a repeat offender. They're just like,
Yeah.
are they still around?
Just do it all at once. They're clearly doing these rounds of layoffs to avoid whatever tax penalties that'll be levied on them.
They're trying really hard not to shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. This is 97 people. If you remember, Eidos Montreal is an Embracer shop. So Embracer's just going studio to studio and just cutting people's heads off. And then another one was Sega. Sega laid off 61 people, but it would have been more, apparently, without the unions. This is a tweet. A union rep said the 18 jobs were saved at the bargaining table and better severance for those being laid off by Sega of America. All due to, these unions. Guys, so unions can do things even if things are going to shit. They can still look out for you and make sure you get a better deal and a little bit more protection than you would otherwise. So, I mean, shit, that's pretty cool. I would be very happy to be one of those 18 jobs that were saved. That my union dues were very well spent.
Yeah, they'll
Like,
get them. They'll get them later. Don't worry.
you know,
They'll get them later.
They'll
They'll transfer them into a different job code and then lay off that job code and be like, no, it wasn't those 18. It was just
It was a different,
completely different people.
Well, that's it. Just the 2, just under 200 layoffs.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, what is that?
Big
Like
money.
90 something plus 61. We're
I'm not
looking
doing that
pretty
math.
good, like 150-ish.
Yeah.
That's like baby numbers compared to what we've had the
Baby
past weeks.
But that means that next week's going to be terrible.
Guys, good news. Only 150 people have been put into the job market that you are specifically looking for. So it's like not that much competition.
That's not that much work. And you know what? They'll be babies about it too, because they're going to be like kind of fresh-eyed, and they're not going to really be able to compete with the grizzled job market veterans that you
Their
guys
resumes are nowhere near as good as yours are because you've been doing this for like 5 months. So
are. Yeah, you guys have been spending every day on LinkedIn. They just started. All right, put your bibs on, boys. It's time to eat some messy riblets.
nah, man, I'm not putting a bib on. I'm taking my shirt off. This is an Applebee's. I'm not wearing a shirt. Let me get these ribs all over my belly.
Baby, get my chest squeegee. I got dribbles. Riblets are meat nuggets of news, stories that aren't really worth a full rib, just a little quarter rib. First up here, the Kelsey boys back up, bringing back to the day game, backyard football.
Yes.
I did it.
JD wasn't, he left it because I wrote this one for JD, but what he's trying to say without sounding like an idiot.
I'm so sorry.
The 2 Kelsey brothers, they've got that podcast. Everyone knows about it now. Travis and Jason Kelsey, they got a podcast where they talk, and they were talking about backyard football and backyard baseball, some games from forever ago. And I guess Jason Kelsey was like, I don't want to say anything, but I've been looking into who owns the rights to those games because I want to buy it and bring them back. He's like, make a great mobile game. I want to put it on mobile so we can play it again. Super simple. Let's do this. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. That's a great idea.
This is a good use. This will be interesting to see if a bullshit idea, and I don't imagine a lot of money unless they're going to ask Tay-Tay for a loan, can just
She's
will
got more money than anything.
right. But are they going to want to beg her? Are you going to want to go to your multi-billion-dollar pop star girlfriend and ask her for a couple milli so you can bring back an old NES game?
Nope.
And she's like, what?
Listen, Taylor's going to just buy it and give it to him as a birthday gift.
So that's the question. Can just a dumb idea, a bunch of money, will a video game into existence? We will see. because
Taylor Swift can will anything into existence, Shady.
Let's see. Next up, Dave the Diver is getting into Godzilla expansion.
Dude, this is
what
so
the
crazy.
fucking fuck? Okay, so Dave the Diver is an indie game, right? Indie.
Kind of. No,
Kind of. No.
not really.
Okay.
They thought it was an indie game.
Oh
and
yeah,
remember
because
that
they
it got pulled
no,
back because they're like, this is not an indie game. This is owned by like a major company.
that's what the deal was, that they gave it like at the Game Awards.
Yeah,
they gave
they
it
were
like
nominated.
indie game
They're
because they're like, well, it was Pixels. See,
Yeah.
I fell for the same trap, but good thing I'm not running a Game Awards show. Fucking idiots.
Dude, and people caught it immediately. They were like, what? This is a giant company. Like,
Did
what
you
are
look at the
talking about?
Wikipedia article for Dave the
I don't
Diver?
know, it's called Dave the Diver and it's pixelated.
So they're
That's just
big
fun.
enough company to grab a license from Toho, the Japanese film studio that owns Godzilla. But so I thought this was wild. I thought, why the fuck would they partner with, Dave the Diver? It's such a small game, considerably, like relatively. But dude, they're doing this everywhere. Did you see that Godzilla's already been in Fall Guys and a game called Giga Bash? Have you seen Giga Bash? And
Who
he's
makes-
coming to Minecraft. They're putting Godzilla in fucking Minecraft. Like Godzilla on
Yeah, well, Minecraft gets everybody. Well, this is interesting though, because Giga Bash is Malaysian. What's it called? Dave the Diver. They were in South Korea. What was the other one you said? Fall Guys.
all
makes
within
that?
Godzilla's strike range.
Yeah, Mediatonic. Oh gosh, now I gotta look it up. I gotta know.
So
yeah, all
basically-
within this strike, dude. Godzilla. So we only see the Japanese stuff, but like he pops out of the ocean in between.
He
Korea
doesn't
and
just go
Japan.
one direction.
No.
You
he's-
draw a circle around Tokyo, and that's where he can go. It's pretty wide.
Yeah, he swims so fast, you guys. He can go anywhere he wants, to be honest.
So I think they're just kind of throwing out licenses. I discovered this because I ended up on like the Godzilla subreddit or something somewhere, some Godzilla community.
Nice.
And they were all so pissed about this because all of them are tired of Toho handing out the Godzilla license because they think that means that puts them farther and farther away from getting a standalone Godzilla title.
Oh,
And let us all learn from the example of Kong Skull Island. Boys, we may not want a Godzilla standalone title.
easy. Wait till
Maybe
Game Mill gets their hands on Godzilla.
let's just keep Godzilla in Minecraft and Giga Bash.
Like, I just gotta say though, if anyone has played Dave the Diver, which I know some people have, it's straight up like you're sitting there on the boat. The classic look when you're on the boat and you decide to dive down.
Godzilla
The
rolls
sushi
up.
restaurants right there. The hole, I think is what they call it. The blue hole is right behind you, and then Godzilla pops out of it. A full gigantic. It's not like a little Godzilla. It's a
Yeah.
full gigantic Godzilla. It's incredible.
It's
I
not
don't know
Son of
what it is,
Godzilla.
but I want this. I want to do it. So I'm in
Yeah.
for the Godzilla thing.
I wanna make
Dave the
Godzilla
Diver's already
sushi.
wild, dude. God, you can. I guarantee if you kill him, every boss you kill, you make special sushi out of.
Mhm.
If you fight Godzilla and kill him, you will make Godzilla sushi.
I'd eat Godzilla. Pal World has reached 20 million players in 12 days. That is
I
insane.
just can't believe it. It's blowing my mind.
Everyone
This-
should play this shit.
This game
It's
is
so fucking
going
fun.
crazy. It's so easy to play.
So straightforward. You can play it with your brain.
Yeah, I saw a
So,
lady play it with just her brain and an EEG
Yeah.
today. So
that was weird.
yeah,
We should talk about that later. Hoggy Legs is getting some fresh content. Hogwarts Legacy. Finally, I didn't know this. The PlayStation exclusive content is going to be available on other platforms later this summer. I didn't know I got exclusive content. Haha, you guys suck. I had the good experience. I actually had a
You're so
broomstick in
elitist.
mine.
Ugh.
Y'all had to ride around on a vacuum like Hocus Pocus. Bitches.
I had a broomstick, but it had wheels and it stayed on the ground. I just
It
rolled
never
around.
Your broomstick doesn't fly unless you get the PlayStation version. It goes wicked fast, but it's like 2 feet off the ground.
It's rickety too. Like it makes squeaky sounds. We could use some WD-40 on that bad boy. It was it's like a tricycle.
Apparently, there's also going to be some additional updates and features for the game. I don't expect a lot. I expect quality of life, maybe. But maybe there'll be like a couple cool things.
Who knows? Yeah, if they
don't-
add
I
like
don't know.
a couple different enemies or something, would be awesome.
If those guys aren't already working on like another Hogwarts game that reuses this, I'm gonna be pretty surprised and also
I'd be
fairly
shocked.
upset because that would be the dumbest shit. So if anything, this feels like it's just like them just keeping their knives sharp. And hopefully in like 2 years we see an announcement for another Hogwarts game. Maybe less. I hope it's less. I'm ready. Don't tease me. Just give me another one. God, it's so good. Jenna's been playing it again, so I'm like,
You're like into it again.
last thing here. Jim Carrey's coming back for Sonic 3. Didn't this dude retire like 10 years ago? And he's like,
Came back
no.
for Sonic.
Yeah, he's like, I'm retired except for Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, the standard Hollywood path. Oh, I'll come back if it's a Sonic movie. Otherwise, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not doing anything. I won't touch it. Oh, Sonic 6? Yeah, I'll do Sonic 6.
They're like,
Sonic
hey,
X
Jim, and he's like,
Knuckles.
I'm retired. Okay, no, and they're like, yeah, we were just gonna see if you want to be Dr. Egghead. or
James
Robotnik."
Marsden rolls up with a puppet and he's like, oh, no, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Oh, you didn't say Marsden was in on this.
Marsden's here. Marsden's back. Dude, Jim Carrey and Marsden. That's the move. Those two
Dream
dudes.
team. Only guy who can bring Carrie back is Marsden.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Sonic 3. I loved Sonic 2.
They're fun. They're fun.
They're so good.
That's
That's it. That's good news.
Kudos. Kudos. Kudos.
Kudos is this positivity segment where we say positive things about things that we're positive about. Right?
Yeah, positive. Unless we do a kudos. You know what? Kudos is just stuff that we want to give. We want to talk about. If
If you guys are relatively new listeners to this podcast, you may have been blessed enough to have missed the period in which we did kudos at the top of the podcast.
oh yeah, did
We
that,
had a
didn't we?
couple episodes before we were corrected, or this was brought to our attention, where we didn't start talking about video games for like 30 full fucking minutes.
Too big. Is this a video game podcast? We're like, yeah, shut up and listen to me talk
Listen
about
to
food.
kudos. We got to start off with some kudos. So you guys are lucky. At least we do the news before kudos now, because you can mash the fast forward 30 seconds button like 25 times.
I just want to do a quick kudos rewind. When I first pitched this segment, this was way back in the day.
Mm.
You guys were like, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll try it. And we tried it 1 week and then stopped because it was so bad. Because if you remember Spencer's kudos, his recommendation was drink more water. So yeah, I'll never forget.
This
I was
fucking,
like, you
this
ruined it.
fucking Ned Flanders gave kudos to water.
I was like, I'll never forget. He torpedoed my segment idea.
Yeah, dude, that's what he did. He absolutely kamikaze your fucking segment.
I had like a really good one, and he was like, "Drink water, folks. It's hot outside."
Guys, this podcast used to straight up be Game of Thrones, just like constant backbiting and infighting and just things that you wouldn't really notice if you weren't paying attention. But if you knew what was going on behind the scenes, you'd be like, damn.
Now it is still like Game of Thrones, but just the nude scenes because I don't have pants on.
Yeah, dude. I call Theon Greyjoy. That's me. That's me.
You're a real Greyjoy. Okay, let's see. Kudos. First, I have to start off. I have a kudos retraction. Last week, I gave kudos to those donuts, the Potchki.
I've been looking for him since you said
Don't.
that.
I'm retracting my kudos. Here's the
Would
thing.
you
I
get
have
the
now bought
shits?
4 boxes. Okay. First box, incredible. Second box, pretty good. Third box, oh, good. Fourth box, we ate half of one before we threw the whole box away. They were so bad.
It's like a Stephen King short story, like the most delicious snack you ever eat, but every time you eat it, it gets worse.
Yeah.
And then it tastes like blood and shit.
I don't dare buy another box, to be 100% honest.
That's so fucking amazing. Yeah, the next one's
fourth-
gonna be crawling with fucking maggots and stuff.
There was a bug inside of fourth box 4. It It was just a little fruit fly, and it flew out when I opened
Fuck.
the box.
Fuck.
Nope. No, I'm not lying. And then
He
I was
laid
like,
eggs for sure,
I'm gonna
dude.
try it anyway. So I cut it open, and it looks fine. I take a bite, and the middle is doughy. And I was like, all right, I can't do this. And then
Aren't these like mass manufactured things?
Yeah. My son took a bite, and he was like, these were gross. And I was like, I'm throwing them away. I don't even care. These are done. So kudos retraction. Look, if you missed the Poshki train, they were good 2 weeks ago. They're not good anymore. So don't get them.
You had these things. I don't think we ever had a kudos retraction.
It was so
Ever.
good the first time too. Like I thought about them the next day. That's how good they were. And then I've just been disappointed since. So yeah, this is kudos retraction, first one.
Here's one I won't retract because
Yeah.
I was so over the moon about it. My sister got me one of these for Christmas. It's called a Magic Puzzle Company. Just Google the Magic Puzzle Company or just Google Magic Puzzle and it will show up. They are 1,000 piece puzzles, which is, I think, pretty standard for like a good big puzzle.
That's like
It's
an
not
adult puzzle. Yeah,
it's
I
not
did
a max one, like 5,000 is
So I did a
ridiculous.
2,000 puzzle this Christmas. I bought my wife one, and I bought her like one of those puzzle tables that spin and there's drawers and stuff. Freaking awesome. 2,000 piece puzzle, too big for that table thingy. It's gigantic. Actually, if you can kind of see, it's on my table behind me right there.
Mm.
It's gigantic.
Yeah, so this is a consumable thing. We were able to put it on a board.
You
My
need it?
dad had like a plastic, paper board thing. So yeah, standard 1,000 piece puzzle. This is the best puzzle I've ever done in my life, to the point that I will never bother doing any other puzzle that's not one of these. And furthermore, they made me wonder what the fuck is wrong with every other puzzle company on earth.
What are the other guys doing?
Exactly. I don't know why they're doing it wrong, but they all should be doing what these guys are doing. So you see a puzzle piece and they're all the fucking same. All
Yeah,
the puzzle pieces.
There's like 6 variants, and that's it.
Yes. It's like chicken McNuggets, the same deal. You think they kind of look different, but when you open the box and actually lay them out, you're like, wow, there's only 4 total shapes here. That's how every other puzzle is. This puzzle is not like that. The one we got, there were specialty shapes. So for one example, one of the shapes was a spider. And it like the part of the puzzle that had a spider on it, right? And so this little tiny spider within the puzzle, the scene was bugs at a picnic. So there's lots of different bugs and they're like running around having their own picnic. And the spider piece has like essentially 8 little, it's like a puzzle piece that looks like a spider, if you imagine like 8 little things. Well, if you can visualize, that fucks up all the pieces around it. So now all the pieces around the spider piece are like puzzle pieces, but slightly different. And then that has like a ripple effect because that is not the only one. There was a piece that looked like a bunny because the bunny was on the piece. There was a piece like the puzzle is so brilliant. Like that's the only way I can describe it, is that it is absolutely brilliant. The art is delightful. It's just fun to look at. It's fun to be like, oh, where's the bunny? And you find the
Looks like a
bunny.
kid's book.
Yes, that's a great descriptor. It's like a children's book that's been cut into a crazy puzzle, and each piece is made with just the utmost care and consideration. And so we had just so much fun with this, and we did this for like 2 nights, and we had a great time. And then all of a sudden, there's another package in there that says, don't open this until you finish the puzzle. We finished the puzzle and ... I'm not telling you because I can't. I was sworn to secrecy by the puzzle. You have to get one of these and find how the fuck there can be a secret in a puzzle. And there's like a whole bag full of pieces and you can shake them and be like, what the fuck is this? And I want to do this. Puzzle is magic. You guys, I don't know, like, and on top of all of this, and you're like, well, that's kind of a cool sell. Are you like getting extra? This is only $23 for one of these on Amazon. You can get one of these on Amazon for $23. They're not expensive. Like, that's a pretty standard puzzle price, isn't it?
Well,
or are they normally like 10?
Yeah, I guess it depends on the puzzle where you get it from. You can always get sales of puzzles for like $12. You know what I mean?
This one is something that I will be loaning out. I was going to loan it to my sister, and So I think you'd get some life out of these. I'm gonna buy myself another one because I just can't wait to do another
Which one was it called? Do you remember?
The one I did was
Busy Bistro.
it was
There's
the
Forest
it was a
Feast.
picnic. Yeah, what was it called? Forest Feast.
Forest Feast.
Yes, the Forest Feast is the one I did.
Okay, so it looks like I saw it completed. Was that wrong? Should I've not looked at a completed version of it? Because it looked like there was like split.
Are you gonna spoil it when I
No,
tried
I
not
don't-
to spoil it?
I don't know. I
Why-
don't know
well,
what
drop
you're
it.
spoiling.
Why are
Okay.
you going doing research and stuff? Just get
I'm
one of
trying
these
to look
puzzles
for
and
the
do
spider
it.
piece. I couldn't find it.
You got to look for it
Okay.
in the box when you do the puzzle.
You don't.
I will
find
send you
it.
some pictures. I took pictures while I was doing it of the unique pieces, and you can see it for yourself. The Magic Puzzle Company. If you guys like puzzles at all, you have to do one of these. They're so fun.
Okay, and then I have a quick kudos. This is a real one. It's a Fudos. I posted this in Discord, but I bought some new cereals that I saw. Just some random cereals at Walmart. And one of them was a limited edition Special K, which I don't know about you guys. I love Special K. I really do.
Interesting.
Love it. Because it's usually like sweet, but it's not candy cereal. But this one is flavored iced vanilla latte. And if you know me, you know I love anything like coffee flavored at all. I really love it. So I was like, I'm gonna get it. Pour myself a bowl. I don't like I can't just like drink milk. So I use for my cereal, and if you've never done this, it's fantastic. You just use vanilla almond milk. Tastes really great in your cereal.
Mm-hmm.
I put that in there, and dude, this cereal is awesome. It's so good. It's just like light coffee flavor, but you can tell it's there. It's got the vanilla flavor. It's great. So if you see it, I've only seen it so far at Walmart. But it's Special K iced vanilla latte. Honestly, if you like coffee at all, you should get this because it tastes amazing. I love it. I love it. Love it.
Where did you get it? You said Walmart?
Walmart. Yeah. We had to go
I
to Walmart.
do like Special K, oddly enough. I love they had Special K bars, whatever those were. They were like
Yeah,
frosting
same.
on them or whatever. Those
I
were way good.
like the flake consistency for me is just really great.
It's crunchy.
Mm-hmm. They stay crunchy for a long time. So,
Yeah.
anyways, iced vanilla latte seems like a weird flavor for cereal, but it worked just swimmingly. It's so good.
Dope.
Oh gosh, here we go.
In the basement,
Gotta
I'm
remake-
typing my confessions. I hope you guys won't make fun of me.
my least
So,
favorite one.
That's what
My
happens when
least favorite one by a lot.
he keeps telling himself he's going to make another bumper, but he hasn't done it yet. So we have to keep playing this over and over again. Keyboard Confessionals is when we come to you bearing our souls and our sins. And
It's a confessional, so you're not allowed to make fun of us.
no
That's
judging
the one
me
thing. Yeah, this is
because I have a serious confession to make. I have a couple. There's actually a couple here, and they're all bad.
Oh,
They're
good.
all bad.
those are the kind we like best. I promise I won't laugh at you.
Okay, so this is kind of a give a mouse a cookie situation.
You
Because-
idiot. Oh wait, not yet. Keep going.
Jenna had never heard of a film called There's Something About Mary.
Oh yeah.
So I made a
Ben
joke
Stiller.
about bangs, and she didn't get that. And I was like, oh, and then we watched it. And then I was like, oh, is it streaming anywhere? No, it's not streaming anywhere. So I was like, I guess I could torrent it. Or because I was laying on the couch and torrenting makes me stand up, and that sucks. Which I would never do that, by the way. I would never torrent a movie.
That- You wouldn't steal a car.
No, I wouldn't steal a car. Duh. So I get on my app on my phone and I just check it out from the library. So I put There's Something About Mary on DVD on hold of the library. And I thought, you know what? I thought I might, in theory, what if I wanted to like rip a DVD and put it on there? Because I would like want to watch There's Something About Mary in like 2028 or something. And I realized that, I need to clean out my computer because my computer is a little dusty and I haven't blown it out in a minute. So give a mouse a cookie, and this just keeps going. So today I decide I'm going to blow out my computer. So I take it apart and I take it outside and I blow it. And then I take the CPU cooler off and I clean off the thermal paste. I clean off all the fans. So my
Wow.
first confession is things were dirty. I mean,
Wait,
they weren't that
you like
bad.
take it apart when you clean it out? I just like, I get what I get. Blow it out. Just if it comes out, it comes out.
It
I'm
was
taking it
like I
apart.
said, dude, it was give a mouse a cookie because everything I started to clean, there was something else I found. And I had by the end of it a solo cup absolutely full with dirty Q-tips, like 50 or
gosh.
60 Q-tips, just both sides.
This is
rubbing
about the cookie
alcohol.
situation.
It just gets worse. So I clean up the thermal paste, which was actually my original goal here, is I needed to switch out the thermal paste on my CPU because, you know, it gets hot and I was worried about that. And so as I do that, I'm starting to I put this all back, you know, and I open the instructions and I look at how to put the CPU cooler back on. And, you know, ever since I got this thing and put it together like 3 years ago, like 3 years ago, it was upside down. The CPU cooler is a Be Quiet brand. It says Be Quiet, and I put it on upside down. Now, at the time, I thought there was a reason for this. I was like, there's some configuration. This needs to be here. That needs to be there. This cord needs to be there. So that's how I have to do it this way.
You're talking about
I
like
don't
the
know
fan
why.
and the heat sink, like that
yes,
thing.
Yes, upside down. I was like, why did I do it that way? And you know what? It didn't really matter. But what I did realize is I had the fans on backwards. So instead of pulling air in from the front and pushing it out the back,
Yeah.
which is where the other case fan pushes it out, it was trying to pull it in from the back and push it to the front. So it was essentially creating a mini tornado
Yeah.
in the front of my box and a vacuum where it was desperately trying to suck air, but the air was being blown out rapidly from the back of the case, which is probably the reason it's always so fucking hot, even though I bought the most gigantic heat sink I could find. I don't
Wow.
think I ever need to actually take this case, the thing off, Peterson. I genuinely think every time I've had to do that, every time games have gotten this thing too hot, is because I built it fucking wrong.
So it's getting like extra hot. Like some games just make it hot anyway, but you're making it extra hot because this thing's like
I might as well be blowing a hairdryer into
first
my
it's
fucking
working
thing.
so hard.
Yes.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is like so hard because we're like
Yes.
pumping air into it.
Out of no, yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And oh yeah, that's
My
awesome.
poor isn't that a confession, dude? It was and the ultimate thing is I was trying to take extra care once I realized that I was a careless asshole when I put this thing together. So I was like, okay, we're gonna be extra careful. And so I decided to gently test my thermal pasting. And I went to try to pull, I put the thermal paste on,
Yeah.
and I put the heat sink on, and then I was like, I want to just like gently take it off and see the coverage.
You didn't.
I ripped the CPU off the fucking board.
Yeah, what?
With the arm down. I have a Ryzen card. It didn't even lift the arm. It just ripped it straight out of the fucking board. And yes, all of you that have built a PC who are cringing, that's what it felt like for me. It was awful. I stopped. I just put it all down and went to the gym. I was like, nope, bye. Put the CPU in later. It worked. Thank God. All the pins were straight. Nothing was
What?
busted.
You didn't bend any pins doing that? Wow. Wow.
Dude, I just hulked it off the fucking
Wow.
board. The board was fine. The cooler was fine. The thermal paste was apparently made out of super fucking glue.
Well, the second you said that, I was like, oh no, he's gonna rip the CPU out.
Yep.
That's incredible.
So let's
And
see.
I'm not even good at
Dirty.
this stuff.
Dirty board, dirty PC, upside down cooler, ripped the CPU off my board, and the fans were on backwards for 2 or 3 years. In my defense, I put it together during the pandemic, and my brain wasn't working because it was the pandemic. So give me a fucking break.
Yeah, leave me alone. All right, you computer nerds. I'm not a freaking computer genius. All right.
I'm a computer idiot.
This is here. The moral of the story, I guess it doesn't matter how you put stuff on. Just hork it in there and hope it turn it.
Orc it in, rip it off, slap it together, upside down, backwards.
My
It'll
next
run.
PC, I'm just laying the case on its side.
And just drop the
just
components from height.
gravity is gonna do the work for me.
See what sticks, because apparently it doesn't fucking matter. My computer was built by NASA.
Dude, that is
Isn't it
awesome.
horrifying?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's lasted.
I'm
I
never
mean-
cleaning this case again. I'll tell you that much. God knows what I'm gonna find. My fucking GPU's upside down. I've got my cable, my monitor cable plugged into my motherboard instead of my GPU.
No,
I don't know. We'll find out.
A couple Q-tips in the fan somewhere,
Ugh.
jammed in there.
Dude, yeah, I got a fucking toothbrush. I took a toothbrush to the heat sink because it was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, but did you put Jenna's toothbrush back after you were done?
That's what I said. I said I got a toothbrush. We only have the one.
And how many toothbrushes do you idiots keep at your house? You don't have.
It's not like we're brushing our teeth at the same
one per
time.
tooth? Yeah, like this. Just take turns. You guys are so wasteful. That's awesome. Rundown.
The rundown is this thing that's really important. We do it when we play a game and we don't really know what it means, but we're gonna review a game probably, right?
I'm going to talk about a game. Hopefully, I cover the basics of a rundown. I don't know what they are, but hopefully, I catch it all. You know what I mean?
Let's see. What did you play, Peterson?
So I'm going to give you guys a recommendation for this is a tabletop game. So easy, okay? Easiest tabletop game you're going to play, and everyone loves it. Okay, this is a game called Bank. And you actually have to play it with an app. So you download the app, and it looks like this guy right here. It's blue with a yellow.
You're trying to get us into crypto, aren't you?
And it's okay. Put in my referral code, which is Peterson69. Okay. If you deposit at least $200,
You get moved up to the Peterson Club. I'll send you a personalized text once a week.
and then you get your own referral code. So then you recruit 3 or 4 other guys, and then yeah.
The Peterson Club doesn't matter if it's not full of people, guys.
No, so this game's called Bank. It's a dice game. All you need is 2 dice, but we give everyone I got like a bag of dice. I just give everyone their own 2 dice.
Okay.
Because how it works is this is how it works. So you start off and you go into the app. The app actually helps you quite a bit with the game. So you don't have to do anything. You load in and it says number of rounds, 10, 15, or 20. Pick 10 rounds. You hit play. Then you're going to put in order around the table everyone who's playing the game. So I'll put JD, Peterson. I'll just put everyone in order because it will tell you whose turn it is to roll. So then you roll. There's the first 3 rolls are like playing craps. It's like the come out, right? The first 3 rolls you can't lose. It just puts points on the board. And what it does is you get the points for what you rolled. You roll a 9 points. Okay. And the app actually says, I touch 9. Then it says JD's turn. Then JD rolls an 11. Touch an 11. The number you don't want, just like in craps, is 7, which is the most common roll. So after the first 3 rolls, and actually, if you roll a 7 in the first 3 rolls, it's actually a good thing because you add 70 points to the point total.
Okay.
And then after that, it's live. So on the roll 4, it's live. So 7s bust. 7s end the round. If you're still in it, you get 0 points. You just take turns rolling and you add that total to the dice. So then next person rolls a 6, you add 6 points. The one other thing is that if someone rolls doubles, so like 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, right? Any doubles, it doubles the score. So you roll 4, 4, we've got 80 points. Bam, it's 160 points now, right? And so it doubles the score. At any point, any player can say bank. And in the app, I click the bank thing, say JD said bank. Now you're out of the round. You have taken the points. You've taken your 160 points or whatever, and you're done. And then everyone else keeps going. We continue off that 160. And it's essentially a press your luck game. Because if when a 7 rolls out, no one, whoever's still in it, whoever hasn't banked any points, gets 0 and the round's over. So if you banked 160 points, I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep going. Then I roll a 7. I get 0 points. Round 2. You've got 160 now. I have 0. And the app keeps track of all of it as you go. So it makes it super easy to play. App is free. Costs nothing. Easy game. It takes no longer than that to explain. Even when you're with a group of people with dice in hand, it's even easier to explain. You just go through. Anyone can play this. I play this with my kids. My 6-year-old plays it. I got together with a group of dudes that the Lee crew that I play video games with. We had a board game night. And while we were waiting for other people to show up, I was like, yeah, let's play some Bank real quick. And I taught them Bank. We started playing. We ended up playing Bank before, and we played like 7 or 8 rounds. And then afterwards, we played more Bank because it was like, it's fun. And then one of the dudes was like, yeah, I just played with my kids. They liked it. Everyone likes this game.
Can
Super
you bet
easy.
money on this?
You can bet
Where
on
could you
anything.
bet?
You can bet on anything, JD. But you bet on the winner is what you would have to do. And then you start to get into strategy. You're like, crap, we got 2 rounds left. I have to get 600. I'm 600 points behind. So like I have to, try to beat you by that much this round. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun. Really,
You say this app is
easy.
free?
Yeah. It's called Bank. It's
The
blue
shit?
with a gold.
Is this like an old
I don't
ancient
know.
Egyptian game of yore or something that they've digitized?
I have no idea.
You just play with dice.
My cousins were my cousins, my brother-in-law and their family, they were like, yeah, let's play Bank. We'll play it. And I was like, dude, this game's great. Kids loved it. Everyone loved it. So just get it. All you need is a couple dice. You can pass the dice around, or if you've got a bag of dice, like from a different game that has 1 million dice, you can just use those. They give everyone 2 dice and you just roll, go. One person manages the app and they just hit the score. It's so easy. Hit 9, hit 4, hit doubles, right? And then it just keeps the score for you. Someone clicks Bank, you say JD said Bank, and then it just keeps going. Very easy, super simple, tons of fun. Anyone can play it. It's very quick, and there's no limit to how many people can play. We played it with like 15 people, and then we played it with like 4. Like, it doesn't matter. You can play with as many people as you want. So yeah, I highly recommend everyone look at it, because again, you get together with a bunch of people. You can play this. You can explain it and be playing it in 3 minutes.
Shit. Bank.
Yeah. Bank. Play
Get
it.
it.
So that's my rundown of Bank. Absolutely should play.
Dice.
Dice of Destiny.
Dice of Destiny is this game we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to see who will be responsible for throwing them bones. A 20-sided die with 20 different game genres assigned to it. Then they roll another 6-sided die to see how much they can spend on that game. They find a game in that genre for that price. They pick it, play it, and review it. Last week, despite playing a lot of Pal World, I got to play another game. Ugh, come on. And I rolled a $50 shooter, which I also wasn't really happy about. And then I went looking for shooters.
He's like, I can do this. Dude,
None of them.
it is a wasteland
bleak out
out
there.
there.
A
It is.
wasteland. Yep. Like this to tell you what a wasteland it was. I was legitimately considering Suicide Squad, and I'm very 0% interested in that. But I was like, dude, if I can find that for like $40-$50, if I can find that in the price range, probably I'll wait another 2 weeks. It'll go on sale. But right now it's still $70. So
Yeah, even I was like,
out.
yeah, is it on a streaming service? Like, Ubisoft Plus has their thing, and like,
Let's see
but
if
yeah,
is there any deal.
I couldn't find it. But yeah,
Mm.
I mean, and so not only that, we're in Steam looking at the first-person shooter, third-person shooter, and honestly, there's like nothing grabbing JD. And then I jumped in, tried to help him, and there was nothing. I was like, wow, this is empty. Like, there's nothing good, right? I mean, there are games, but like, I want to play any of them.
So, what do we go with? What's it called?
So I talked JD into playing a game with me called The Finals.
The Finals.
I've played this game, not a ton. I played it for it says I played for 17 hours, so maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will play the finals with JD. The only bummer is that I was like, oh man, yeah, the game I haven't talked about on the podcast yet. Give me like a free segment, and now I'm gonna have to double up and talk about it on Dice of Destiny. But that's
Which is great because it gives me more time to play Pal World. Well, Peterson does my homework.
Like this is a group project. JD didn't play the finals with me though. So I guess I'm doing his Dice of Destiny review.
So snaked that one. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Game of Thrones shit all the time on this podcast. You got to keep on your toes. You'll get snaked. Your Dice of Destiny will be handed off. Your segment will be torpedoed. Like, who knows? We'll write a keyboard confessional bumper that Peterson just absolutely despises. Stuff like that.
I hate it, and I still have to use it. I'm all mad. It's the Joffrey Baratheon of segments bumpers.
It's gonna shoot you with a crossbow.
Every time I listen to it, I'm like, I hate this.
It's
What am
like
I
another crossbow in my heart.
I wish I had a crossbow in my heart, to be honest.
All right, that's it. I'll play that next week probably or something. Peterson,
We're
will talk
playing it.
about
I'll force you to play it with
Shit.
me.
If Peterson catches me playing Pal World, he's gonna force me to do this group.
Like
project
JD, I
with
can
him.
see you're on. You have to play the finals with me.
Text him 3 hours later. Oh, sorry, dude, I didn't see your message.
And then I'll message him that, and he'll just all of a sudden his Steam will say he's offline. He just goes offline. Did you leave me on read? How dare you?
All right.
To the house and give. Actually, I'm going to see you this week, right? Are we going to Dover?
Yeah, you can't force me to play even in Wendover.
Oh,
I won't.
I'm bringing the Steam Deck. Okay, you're going to play in the parking lot
Sit
using
in
their
the back
Wi-Fi.
seat, play. I can't wait to play the finals. All right, play us out. We've got Pepper from the Butthole servers.
I don't know what this is, so I'm kind of.
Did you listen to it?
No. YouTube's like, oh, let me play 7 minutes of ads first.
Well, how else are they? As poor YouTube, that little indie company, going to make money?
All right, let's see the Butthole server. I mean, I know the Butthole servers are.
You can just click on the link. You don't have to like Google it. There's a link in the doc.
And I have to watch ads. Oh, I know this one. I didn't know it was called Pepper.
Yeah. So
Okay. Why are we listening to this one?
I don't fucking know.
We're
Because
doing it in Texas.
we're doing it in Texas.
All right. Butthole surf. JD's in a butthole surfer type of mood.
I'm surfing buttholes today.
I didn't know butthole surfers was a mood, but here we are.
Here we are. Just their one hit wonder they didn't want to get famous for because they were making fun of Beck. Oops. Shouldn't have made fun of Beck. All right. Hope you enjoy that little dose of the 90s. I'm JD, logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK. They were all in love with dying. They were doing it in Texas.
Perfect.